Surah 28, Ayah 38.
Okay.
And Pharaoh said, O chiefs, I know not that you have a God other than me. So kindle for me.
Are you speaking on the Quran, man?
So
I know it's a translation. The meaning
So
of it.
kindle for me,
But I still
O
respect.
Haman, to bake the mud and set up for me a lofty tower
That's great.
in order that I may survey the God of Moses, and I consider him of the liars. Question to you is simple. When did the Egyptians bake the mud to build a lofty tower? When?
Okay. In order for you to say what is right, what is wrong in the Quran, you need to have a criteria, correct? So first of all, we know historically speaking, if you look back to the story of Pharaoh, not the Egyptian Pharaoh, the pharaohs of the Egyptian, because we know the Egyptian always write their history. Remember what they call it anyway. The point is,
Shamsi, I'm assuming somewhere you'd answer my question.
I'm going to ask you a question. So they did build it, yes. So now you criteria. No,
My
wait.
question was simple.
They did, yes.
When did the Egyptians bake the mud to build towers?
The time
when?
when the Arabs control Egypt.
And what evidence have we got for that?
Okay, what evidence I got of that? The Muslim historians.
Excuse me, Shamshi.
My name is Shamsi, not Shamshi.
Shamsi.
You can say Shamsi. What's his name? I got one name.
Shamsi.
Okay.
What is my name?
Huh?
What is
I don't know your name.
And therefore,
Okay.
forget about taking moral high ground.
No, but
I don't
if-
know your
if-
name also.
No, you know
Why
my
should I
name.
know- why should I know your
You
name
can say
also?
Shamsi, so you know my name.
Obviously, when I read a particular source and ask for evidence,
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to show that source again. Obviously, this should be obvious.
No.
So, excuse me. One second.
Go on.
When I read something from this book,
Yeah.
and ask you for evidence,
Yeah.
I necessarily mean corroborating evidence, not for you to read the same thing again. If you do that, of course, every single statement in the world would be true.
Okay.
Oh, I am an elephant. Well, what evidence is there? I just said so. That'd be silly.
Okay.
And therefore, in the context of what I did, obviously, I'm asking for evidence outside of the Quran. I could also help you in this.
Okay, no, before
Which
you
is-
help me-
The help that I could offer to you is Egypt is one of the few nations in the entire world for which we have unparalleled level of archaeological artifacts.
Oh,
Shamsi,
he's gonna shoot himself in the
wait,
foot. Watch.
wait. Oh, we'll watch everything.
Yeah.
Everyone is
Because
watching.
remember, you have a fish
Don't
memory.
worry.
Remember that.
Don't worry.
Remember.
Don't worry, just answer the baked mud. Show me one evidence out of the plenty of evidences from Egyptian archaeology. Just one.
I don't base the Quran to be the truth because of this story. No, as a holistic book, there is many miracles in the Quran. There is many proofs. Likewise from the author of the Quran. Likewise the prophetic tradition. He's a prophecy to establish Prophet Muhammad is a true prophet and the Quran is a speech of Allah.
Mud baked bricks is an act is incorrectly placed during the time of Moses. Incorrectly placed, just in the wrong time, in the wrong land. Incorrect. What evidence have you shown? Nothing. What evidence can I show? The contrary evidence I can show to you that this can't be true at all is the fact that mud baked bricks, towers based on that, are archaeological artifacts. The fact of the matter is we find plenty of archaeological artifacts in Egypt, but no mud baked brick. And therefore, the idea of mud baked brick based artifact and the fact that there exists none despite having plenty of archaeological artifacts in Egypt tells you that this is a fantasy idea misplaced in time and space. Mud baked bricks. You can't provide an evidence, I can provide counter evidences. Counter evidences from the fact that plenty of archaeological artifacts, but zilch of mud baked brick towers. Counter evidence.
We're not listening.
Counter evidence. Let me finish.
Let him remember that he's doing a job for us for Christian to be
Never
Muslims.
have the habit of listening. Never have the habit of listening.
Can you speak, please? Go on. I'm gonna.
If you stay quiet, thank you. In contrast, go to the dead people coming back alive. I can't provide any evidence outside of the Bible. Can you provide counter evidence that did not happen? Can you do that?
Wait. So look to the hypocrisy. you counter evidence that the Prophet Muhammad, Prophet Moses, and with the Pharaoh never happened. What is it? Because you're saying no.
The counter evidence, if I could repeat,
No.
despite
Let me
the fact of
understand.
repeating,
No, let me understand. That is not a fact. Look.
the counter evidence is the fact that there are multiple hundreds of archaeological artifacts in Egypt.
Yes,
but
he
no
doesn't listen. You must listen.
brick-based
Remember, he doesn't
power.
listen.
That's the counter
Look, when you
evidence.
speak to read, I cannot see
Speaking to
properly.
you is a huge challenge, Samshi.
Thank you very much. That's why you should come to me. He
I
acknowledged
said
this.
challenge.
Yeah.
Challenge necessarily is not a good thing.
Bro.
No.
So wait. So there's two things here that we can see clearly. That
The fact that you can't
Let me
provide
finish.
evidences,
Let me finish.
and the fact that you read
Let me finish.
statements- the
Let me
fact that you
finish.
read- the
Let me
fact-
finish.
Put
Let
him
me
down.
finish.
5 minutes.
Yes.
You have 5
Two
minutes.
things here.
No
One-
5 minutes. Just who told you about 5 minutes? Who is that? Is that Shamshi's
I'm
assistant
sweating,
there?
you know.
Shamshi's second assistant.
Anyway, the story of the baked mud, you can go clear to Oman and many countries. When you go
Egypt.
to bro,
Egypt.
I told you it's not in Egypt.
1500
bro,
BC.
your premise is false. Your premise is false because the story of Moses in the Quran, we don't believe took place in Egypt. Which you believe is Egypt.
And
it's
it's
another
not
land.
wrong.
So
There
you're
you go.
wrong. Let me finish.
There
Your
comes
premise
out
is
the
wrong.
fantasy.
Let me finish.
Pharaoh
Let me
in
finish.
Oman.
Let me
Did
finish.
you hear that?
I didn't say Oman. I didn't say Oman. Listen, learn how to
Pharaoh
listen.
not in Egypt.
No,
Where was the Pharaoh?
There is the Amalekites. One of their kings was called Pharaoh, and that was the story that
Amalekites?
Bro.
A
Let
king
me
of
speak.
Amalekites
Let me
was a
speak.
pharaoh?
Let me speak.
Which king was this?
Can I speak?
Amalek-
If you're A'udhu Billah.
Well, if I let you speak for 5 minutes, it's already 500.
Before you learn how to
twice.
listen. Listen, advise yourself first before you
Pharaoh
advise me.
in Amalekite-
Look to the Munafiqun. Let me finish. Now, if you go to the history, even amongst the Western historians, they will tell you when you read the history of Egypt, clearly the Egyptians were known to write down the history. But the history of Moses is a great history. That Moses and the Pharaoh was drowned in the water, was destroyed, the army and everything. It's not written. How is not written? But when you go to the Muslim historians, alhamdulillah, already knew about the archaeologists of our time. That yes, Moses and the story of Moses and Pharaoh is not what the people think Egypt our time. Because Arabic Misr means land. And the Muslim historians mention it was a different place. Now, wait. Before we go off to anything, your premises was wrong to begin with. Do you accept that?
Your statements are completely
Take a
historically.
Zombies in the Bible, zombies.
Anyway, prove to me that dead people come back to life. Prove to me dead people come back to life.
Historically,
Prove to me dead people
your
come back to life.
statements,
Zombies
your
in the Bible.
statements
Prove to me dead people come back to life.
incorrect.
Prove to me dead people
would
come back
not
to life.
even get you
Prove
through
to
primary
me.
schooling.
Prove to me. Yes, the guy who believes that people come back to
Your
life. Walk in
statements-
Jerusalem. No one wrote it down.
I believe in
Prove to
God
me.
who can raise dead people back to life.
Well, I believe
You
in God.
believe in a
I believe in
who
God.
doesn't do
Who-
it.
No.
And therefore, this
I
is a bit of a
I
surprise to
believe
you.
in God.
I appreciate
who can create
that.
nation and disappear them. See, it's not wrong.
For dead people
Because
coming back
your
alive
premise is wrong.
during the time of Jesus,
Yeah.
I can't provide
Okay.
evidence outside of the Bible.
Okay.
Can you provide counter evidence? You simply
You
can't.
made the claim. You
And
made.
that's
I
where
can.
it's neutral. Neutral.
The Romans.
What's
it's not-
your evidence
I'll tell you.
for the fact
the
that they
Romans
didn't come back alive?
The Romans were known to write history.
Really?
Are you?
Which
really?
Romans? Which?
I'll give you the evidence.
Surah 28, Ayah 38 talks about mud-baked bricks. A tower based of mud-baked bricks. There are three problems actually. There are multiple problems in this surah. Two problems in this particular verse that I'd like to point out to. Number one, mud-baked bricks used to build large towers did not happen in Egypt. Not certainly during the time of Moses. Number one. Number two, mud-baked bricks and climbing up that to go and check out if God of Moses was there is again an anachronistic idea. Anachronistic idea that to me seems like comes from the time of Tower of Babel. Obviously someone who wrote this did not know the time difference between the Tower of Babel and Moses in Egypt. Because they did not know the time difference and because they did not know the place difference, because that happened in Shinar, the land of Shinar, Babylon. Because they did not know the difference between the geography and the time, they obviously used this example here. I have reasons to think perhaps this is one of the reasons why people never let the Quran. People advance this idea that the Quran must be read only in Arabic, because it seems like when foreigners begin reading the Quran in their own mother tongues, they figure out all these problems. And to me, it seems like that could be a reason why the foreigners who knew about their own lands, Egyptians who knew their own land at that time, I'm not talking about Egyptians today, Egyptians at that time and Babylonians of their time would know that something is seriously wrong here. And to me, it seems like that might be a good reason why the Quran was asked to be read only in Arabic. Anyway, coming back to the point, incorrect ideas related to Egypt. Shamsi seems to think that the problem, my logic has a problem, which is that he can't give evidence and I can't prove that to be incorrect. My point is not that. My point is, he can't give me evidence for mud-baked bricks based tower, and I can give him the lack of evidence despite the fact that there are plenty of archaeological evidences in Egypt. And that is counter evidence. In other words, we're not talking about a simple lack of evidence. We're talking about lack of evidence in a place where there are plenty of evidences for all sorts of other things. In other words, it seems like this story is a fantasy story which just doesn't fit in there. Obviously, Muhammad said this. Why did he say this? Excuse me. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I'm a Christian. Excuse me, I am a Christian. You ran away from me, Shamsi. You ran away from me, Shamsi. I don't know why you're here again. If you want a proper debate, we can do that. Fact of the matter is, Muslims across the world, there are plenty of errors in the Quran. Plenty. Some of which are crucial historical errors. Based on that, when the Quran contradicts with the Bible, you can clearly see which book got it right. Shamsi again spoke about the assistant of Shamsi who stood behind him, said there is no evidence for the kingdom of Israel. And this is a laughing matter, because to me it seems like he is not educated even in the alphabets of the historical resources available to back up the historicity of the nation of Israel. Teldan Stile, Merneptah Stile, what does he know about them? To me it seems like nothing. All that he knows is refer to Prophet Google, get a couple of articles somewhere, read things which suits his beliefs. That's what he has done. The Bible is trustworthy. The Bible is reliable historically, theologically. And ultimately, in the Bible, what do we find? God of the heavens and the earth, who created mankind, against whom mankind disobeyed, and therefore came in the judgment. That God is a very compassionate God. Not like the Islamic Allah of the Quran, but a very compassionate Yahweh. And that Yahweh, over a couple of millennia, told the nation of Israel that he was going to send his own son. His own son was going to come in as a sin offering, as an offering for our redemption. And that is precisely what Jesus did. Jesus came into this world, gave up his life for us on the cross, not because he couldn't say anything against it, but because he wanted to go through that. Jesus willingly laid down his life. But thankfully also, Jesus came back alive on the third day. The power of resurrection, the resurrected Lord Jesus Christ is able to bring you and me back alive after we are dead. It is that God who can bring us back alive, who can give life to the dead, that we really need to follow. Everyone else is just a wannabe, but Jesus alone is God eternal with real, proven track record of supernatural power. Yahweh of the Bible is the only one who is worthy to be followed. Muslims across the world, I earnestly commend to you, you need to come to Jesus and follow him. Jesus is the way. Jesus is the one who would let us into heaven. There is no one else who could save us except for Jesus. Come to Jesus and you would enjoy a very happy life. Jesus said, those who believe in me shall not die, and even if they die, they shall come back alive. That is the Jesus. I invite you all to God's richest blessings to you all. Thank you. Bye.